Well, it looks like we have an all-new comedy series from Mindy Kaling that is the most unfunniest, blandest crap I've probably ever watched. It's one of those shows that just reminds you of, yeah, this is the state of comedy, at least when it comes to TV shows and movies. This is what we call comedy now. Absolute dog shit like this. I don't. Anyone who says this is funny is clearly a liar. That's how unfunny the show is. There's no way anyone can look at this show and say, "Oh yeah, it's so funny." It's so funny. It's up there with the likes of Archer. You know, it's right up there with comedies like that, with animated comedies. And for some reason, they went with, "Oh, we're gonna do Scooby Doo. We're not gonna have Scooby Doo though," and it's just like, why? Why did you even bother having anything to do with Scooby Doo with this show? I don't understand why you wouldn't just have this as its own thing. Oh, that's right, because nobody would watch it if it was something else. The only reason people would show up in the first place is because it's, attached to Scooby Doo. So that's why we went with this. For whatever reason, essentially, this show is, you may be asking, who is this show exactly targeted at? Who's it for? Well, it's for Mindy Kaling. That's very obvious. Mindy Kaling, being, what is she, about 40? Let's go with about 40. And she still hasn't got over the fact that she was a big fucking loser when it came to high school. That's who this show is for. It is her therapy. She didn't make it with any target audience in mind. It was just, I was a big fucking loser at school. How do I get over that? I make some show, Velma, and, I'm in love with Daphne, and just a bunch of other shit. It's just like, it's so obvious. It's so embarrassing that people at 40 odd, this is their mentality. It's fucking amazing. It really is. It's She-Hulk 2.0, but it's worse than She-Hulk. It really is. But it's very similar to She-Hulk in the sense that the gaggle of bitches that wrote She-Hulk, they were the same way. They couldn't get over, you had in She-Hulk talking about high school when she's in her mid-30s. It's like, who's doing that? Who's doing that? It's the same here. The therapy it's therapy for the people writing the show. So it's therapy for Mindy Kaling. So that is who the show's for. It's not for an audience. It's amazing to me that shit like this still gets the go ahead, still gets the green light. Clearly it's something that HBO were like, well, it's done, fuck it, chuck it out. There's clearly a reason why there's 2 episodes a week. Because they just want to get rid of it as quickly as possible. It's clear that this is just something that was held over, before new management, new sort of, new control came into the company. But I wouldn't have put this shit out. I don't know why anyone would say, yeah, it's like you cancelled Batgirl. Why would you keep this? Why would you keep this? I really, but, then again, HBO also done Santa Inc., which was the fucking exact same. But we're just going to, briefly go through these episodes anyway. There's no point me wasting that much time on them. There's very little to talk about. It's more, it's just, a bunch of dumb shit. It's a lot harder to sort of critique on the plot basis because there's not really a plot there. And it's, it's just one of those shows where it's, it doesn't have to make sense. So it's, there's not that much to talk about other than to point and laugh at how shit it is. But it's just hilarious to me that this is apparently comedy. Anyone involved in a project like this, I'm just, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know why anyone said comedy. Comedy fucking gold. Fuck me, you must be so far up your own arse. That's obviously why. But we have 2 episodes to go over, so let's just, briefly go over them. But it already starts off with, like, with Velma speaking about, this is my origin story. Normally, origin stories are about tall, handsome guys struggling with the burden of being handed even more power. If they're origin stories about girls, it's like, what made this hot chick go crazy? I don't know. I really don't know, but that's your opening lines. Complaining about, origin stories are usually about men being handed even more power. Go fuck yourself, Mindy. So she's talking about, I assembled a team. It was me, not Fred. Fucking grow up. This is my story told my way. So bullshit then, is that what you mean? So she goes to school. It's just there's nothing fun. They have what are they called? The show makes you lose brain cells, but they have these little bugs. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name of them now. Cockroaches. They get these cockroaches banging. Ha ha. I guess it was meant to be a joke. I don't know, but you've got Daphne, who she's now Asian, Japanese, I think. For reasons, we've got to tick a box. That's why. That's the only reason why. It's just it's what we would expect it to be. It mentions white people constantly, and it's like this. You're not doing anything funny. You're just saying white people. Whatever. But this scene is supposed to be, we're self-aware. They're talking about, it's, I don't, like, pilots always, a pilot of a TV show always has to have nudity at the beginning. So you've got Daphne saying, that's not right, or some shit. It's meant to be funny because they're showering these teenagers that are 16, something like that. So these two get in like a fight. So it's stuff like that going on. Then you get Velma all hooded up and stuff like that, and already you're starting off with, she says to like Daphne, "How do you feel? How do you feel about race blind casting?" I'm like, what? Because that's what you done, was it? No, no, it wasn't, was it? So you're already starting off with stuff like that. And then Daphne's like, as an Asian woman, reason why that's there is so you know that she's an Asian woman. For reasons. Then she's, I don't know, like, a lot of the stuff said in this, I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you actually fucking rabbiting on about? Daphne goes on to say, I don't know, white guys play Jesus or pro boxer. No, like, people want to see white guys play Jesus or a pro boxer. Why can't it go the other way sometimes? What the fuck? What are you talking about? Pretty sure it's the pro boxer bit that gets me. I'm like, what the fuck are you going on about? We've only had professional boxer movies with white guys, have we? I don't think that's true. Muhammad Ali, to fucking name one. So I don't really know it's not funny. It's not, there's no way anyone can say to me, this is top tier comedy. It's not even comedy. It's just, we're going to say a bunch of shit. That's all it is. We're just going to say a bunch of bollocks in the hopes you'll laugh. I don't know. It seems to me like they're not actually trying to make you laugh. We're just like saying things. It's nothing. There's nothing funny in here. So then, yeah, it's like a murder going on, and I don't know, brains fall out. These are Daphne's 2 mums that are police. They're her adoptive mums, and throughout the both episodes, they mention that constantly. Our adopted daughter. My mum's, constantly. It's like, yeah, we get it. Calm down. It's a couple of lesbians. It's not groundbreaking. Fucking hell. But it's just, they just constantly layer on, our mums. Oh, my mums. Fucking shut up. So these are like the police. You know, I find it strange that they're working together anyway. Is that how it usually works? Do the police usually, you know, give you, you know, make your partner also someone that you shag? I don't know. So yeah, it's just, again, it's like constantly insults the audience with you know, just exposition stuff. They have to insult your intelligence by saying things that, oh right, that's how you're going to say that. You know, Velma talks, they're like, oh, when was the last time we've seen you? And she's like, since my mum went missing 2 years ago. It's like, oh, what, they don't know that? So it's like, it's constantly stuff like that. It gets worse than that. I think we've all seen, I think in the trailer, you had Norville. What was it he said? And I hate drugs. He looks at the screen. It's like, fucking hell. So, yeah, she says, I thought lesbians were good at solving crimes. So, again, it's just, we have to keep reminding you that these are lesbians. Oh, it's fucking embarrassing. It really is. And then you find out, I hate your stupid adopted daughter. That's how you find out these are Daphne's mums. Oh. So then she, like, you know, we don't need to spend that much time on it. So she bumps into Fred, and Fred's a racist. He's ignorant. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anyone unless they're hot. He doesn't remember them or something like that. She's like, oh, you remember me from school? You used to think I was a Mexican. So essentially, it's, as I stated in other videos I did cover on this, essentially Fred is just the punching bag. Because he's white, we can only make jokes about white people. So he's just, you know, a piece of shit, essentially. But again, it's just like, why are we doing this with, you know, Scooby-Doo characters? I don't get it. It's like, this could be its own thing. You're not spoofing anything, because all the characters are not the characters anymore. So it's, you could have just done a brand new show. But again, we can't do that, because if it was something new, no one would show up for it. Because no one's, you know, the only reason people would show up for this dog shit is because it has, you know, something to do with Scooby-Doo. So that is the only reason, because there's nothing about it that's Scooby-Doo. So Fred is going out with Daphne. So yeah, you've got like a love fucking square, I guess. You know, eventually you have Daphne and Velma in love with each other. They're both in love with Fred, and Shaggy, or Norville, is in love with Velma, and he's a beta male simp. So yeah, they made him black, and then made him a beta male simp. Right. Strange. So yeah, it's just a fucking bunch of shite goes on. Is there much? Nah, nothing. She's, I don't know, a stepmother's got a baby or something like that. So, like, it doesn't even matter. Most of this shit doesn't fucking matter, does it? So it just gives you a big, long story about Velma's mum disappearing. And she's talking to Fred about this, and Fred's like, oh, I don't know, I'm not the man my father wants me to be, or something like that. So then Norville shows up. He keeps going, oh, I left you VMs, voicemails. Yeah, I left you the VM. Like, he keeps repeating himself. It's like, it's not funny. They're trying to attempt something where, you know, a joke goes on for a while. And it's like, well, the joke wasn't funny to begin with. So why are you bothering? So yeah, that this is Shaggy. That's Shaggy. Ah, fucking hell! It's just like, what's the point? What is the actual point? So they're just talking about. She's like, oh, me stepmother's the murderer because at her workplace, the girl that died, she found pictures or something like that. So she got killed for it, apparently. So, yeah, and also when, like, the reason why at the moment Velma can't solve mysteries is because when she tries to solve mysteries, she has, like, these nightmare things that start pulling on her. It's really funny. I don't know if they were going. I don't know if they were going for funny. So she goes to school, but yeah, it's again just fucking hell. So Fred stands up for her. Do we really have much in here? We went over the something. Yeah, when Norville says, "Oh, it's something to do with drugs," which I hate. Right. I don't think there's much else here really. We can kind of blow past it. So yeah, she goes into like Fred's mansion. He's a rich white guy, which they never cease to shut the fuck up about. So yeah, she's got having all this stuff happen to her, and then then Norville tells her, "Oh, I love you, Velma," and she's like, "Oh, that's funny. Do it more. It's making the things go away." So he's like in love with Velma. Then it was actually what was photographed in that place is the fact that Fred was photographed and he doesn't have any hair because he hasn't gone through puberty yet, and he's got a little dick. So that's supposed to be funny. So now they're like, "Oh, you murdered the girls." So then he's like, "I'll give you what I gave to Brenda," but the two lesbian mums come in and shoot him in the kneecaps. All he was going to do was he was going to pay off Velma not to say anything about him not going through puberty, but these two lesbian mums came in and shot him in the kneecaps, right? So they're now like, he's the murderer. He just said he wasn't. He said he was going to give you money. Then there's like another thing that falls out the thing. So that's your first episode. That is episode 1. Was shit. What wasn't funny, no passion, wasn't interesting, it was so bland. It's so bland, it's unbelievable. You're just sitting here just kind of looking at it. That's it. There's no laughter. There's no this is interesting. It's just fucking bland. So episode 2 goes over everything that we've just went over. Fred is being walked out even though he's just been shot in the kneecaps. It's like he's already said he isn't the killer. He's got a little dick. They make a joke about that. Velma's like, he had to have done it. He had to have done it because he's a rich white guy. So that's with a tiny dong. So funny. So funny. How do you do it, Mindy? How do you do it? Fucking most unfunniest person about it must be. So her dad's going to represent him. We can just blow through it. It doesn't matter. There's like a joke, I guess, about 420. Velma says, "Oh, 420's for adults that still watch cartoons," or something like that. It's like everybody. It's like you're making what? Don't know. Daphne's. So this is like just Daphne's a drug dealer, and they're going over Fred's case. He's like a little boy. That's pretty much all there is to it. Oh, he's just a little boy, haha. So this is Norville's dad. His mum's the headmaster, and his dad explains to Velma exactly who he is. It's like, yeah, you've met before. It's just insulting. It really is. That's Norville's mum. Those two lesbian mums they're going to go to high school and pretend to be teenagers. Norville's doing all this. Like, Velma's comes in, says, give me money because I got to get $500 to pay Daphne to get me the files on my dead mum. Because she wants to solve the mystery of where her mum disappeared to. And then, yeah, Norville's like this big simp. He says, in teen movies, they sell something to blackmail the girl into dating them. So he's like also an incel? I don't know. I don't know, but she's going to go and work for Daphne to sell drugs. We get stuff about, White and stuff like that again. Yeah, you have like Daphne says, oh, it's okay to sell drugs if a kid's sick or you're a widow with a mortgage. And then Velma's like, those are all white people. Minorities on TV can only deal drugs to escape poverty. I don't really know why that's in there. Don't know at all. I'm just like, what does that really make sense, what you just fucking said? As I wrote in my notes, don't know. Velma's like, I spit the truth without I spit truth without a filter like every comedian before #MeToo. So it's even like the attempts at jokes are like so outdated. They like just all the references they bring up. It's like, that was years ago. You need to update your shit. You even have him like in a later bit like mention Lil Wayne. It's like, fucking hell. Why your references like back in time? So he's just trying to sell this thing to get Velma the money. Why? She's a fucking prick. So we get more stuff about white people. Like, this girl says, you're a narc, and then she says, you're a white girl with too much money. I don't know what. Why is that a reply to someone calling you a narc? White girl, what? I don't know. None of it really makes any sense. It's just random shit said. It's like, it's not delivered well. It's not delivered like it's supposed to be funny. It's just a statement. Just a statement. But again, it's Mindy Kaling hasn't gotten over high school. She was a big fucking loser in high school. That's very apparent. She hasn't gotten over it, even though she's about 40. That's what happens to these fucking Hollywood types. Never experienced anything else. So that's why they're still obsessed with high school in their 40s. So yeah, it's just stuff trying to sell drugs. He's going to go and get he's going to sell his kidneys to get money to give Velma. Fucking hell. So yeah, just a bunch of shit happens. Daphne's apparently dealing drugs because she wants to find out who her real parents are. You need money to find that out. I don't think so. Her mum and that see her putting drugs in there. So they like touch hands and they're now in love. They're in love. They like the old puss. They like the old minge. Again, is that just why are we doing this? I don't get it. I do not get it. Again, the only reason it's connected to Scooby-Doo is so people watch it. But it's like, no one's getting past the first episode. So, yeah, there's just this big car chase and shit. He's getting ready to sell his kidneys. This guy bursts in. He was on a wanted poster earlier because Norville considered going after him to get the money. And then the guy's in the room saying, oh, you're that guy from the wanted poster all over town. It's like, yeah, I already figured that out. So it's just like constantly insulting people's intelligence. So then they fall on top of each other. Wow. This is just fucking an era of, fan fiction where it's just, oh, these old characters, but they actually they kiss and stuff like that. Fucking hell. That's all it is. So she goes to sell drugs to her dad, and then he's like, oh, why are you selling drugs? It's really funny stuff. Then Velma's like, I was wrong about Fred. He didn't kill the girls. It's like, well, there's no evidence to suggest that he did. Either way, so I'm like, I don't really know what you're doing. So yeah, she just goes into court and like, I've been judging people too strongly and stuff. Fucking hell. So that's pretty much it. Fred is about to get away with it, even though there's no evidence to suggest he killed him. And then because people are going, oh, he's a little boy. He's just a little boy. They're all laughing at him because he's a little boy. He then gets all aggressive, and then they're like, "Oh right, you clearly did it then." So there's that. Then like those nightmare things start grabbing at Velma, and Daphne kisses her. So they kiss for ages, and then Norville is like, "Oh, right." So that's the end of the 2 episodes. So as you can tell, it's fucking garbage. Absolute garbage. You're not funny. You're not fucking funny. So I don't know why. I don't know why this is even a thing. I don't get it. I don't get it why this is fucking hell. You know, people like Mindy Kaling are destroying comedy. That's all I can say. But it's just another show, same as She-Hulk, really. I don't know what else to say about it. But it's just trash. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I don't know why HBO said, yeah, we'll give you 10 episodes. I'm sorry, it's HBO full of retards? Is that why we went, yeah, give her 10 episodes? Mindy Kaling. When has she been funny? I don't know. I don't know when she's been funny. So I don't know why they'd even give her a comedy series. But yeah, I ain't got much to say. I don't know if I'll be watching the next episodes. It'll just depend if there's any interest, which I don't think there is. I do not think there is, but it's just total trash. It's not funny. You know, if you're gonna do a show like this, you have it be funny. That's what you should be going for, but it can't achieve that. But that's all I've got to say about that anyway, because fuck me, just really bottom of the barrel, terrible. Any negative word, really. Just think of your own negative word, and that's what this show is.